So this
All
is,
right, we are now live.
okay. Linda, this is all who will be here today? Okay.
Yes, it is. We have everyone we need.
Okay. Well, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Port Royal Design Review Board. And with no further ado, I guess we'll start with the first agenda item, which is approval of the minutes of the August 6th, 2020 meeting. Do we have a motion to approve?
Yeah, this is Buddy. I make a motion, we approve the,
Okay. Motion's been made. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, Richard seconds. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor indicate by saying aye or raising your hand.
aye.
Aye.
Okay. And I guess I should abstain since I wasn't there. I noticed that people do that when they're not there for the minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and abstain. But we have 3 ayes and 1 abstention. Okay, well, our next agenda item is review a request for varied side setbacks in the single-family subdivision. This is the Spanish Oak subdivision. I believe this is off of Castle Rock Road. Linda, did you want to give a background of the request?
Yes, I will. So this is a project on Castle Rock Road at Rinky Road. The zoning, the underlying zoning is T3 neighborhood. The applicant is looking for final approval of his request. The applicant is developing a 20-unit single-family subdivision, which is allowed in T3 neighborhood. Of note, the setbacks for T3 neighborhood, a 15-foot minimum, 20-foot maximum for the front. So that's a build-to line. The side is 10-foot minimum. The side street is 10-foot minimum, 20-foot maximum. And the rear is 5-foot minimum. Residential development in all zoning districts are required to have a minimum finished first floor level of 18 inches.
Linda, I don't know if you could hear us, but you kind of dropped out on us.
I think our connection froze.
Oh. Guess there's no one on their staff I could like send over there to.
Well, is Sean still on?
Hi, I'm Sean's employee, Tony. I could go in Zoom and send her another email link. And if she's on the internet, I think she'll be able to rejoin.
Okay.
So I'll try to do that right now.
All right. In the meantime, Alan, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Well, I can add a little bit to it. This is the new codes that we're having to build to. Can't have snorkel garages, so we're putting the garages in the rear of the lots. And in order to get to the rear of the lots, I'm asking for a side setback variation of make it 15 on one side and 5 on the other. Now the spacing of the houses from the street will all be the same. They'll still be 20 feet apart. And we'll still have enough coverage to meet the fire code. but I'll be able to put a driveway down one side so I can get to my garage in the rear of the lot. And, you know, we just think it's important that they have a garage in these particular things. The front setbacks, I think, are 20 feet. So typically what I think you're going to see, and you may look at some of these, I did a streetscape here where the houses are pushed up a little closer to the road, 20 feet from the front setbacks. And you'll get a sort of a neighborhood streetscape with the garages in the rear. And we just think it'll work, and we'll meet the code requirements, but we do need this variance on the side setbacks in order to get to our driveways back there. And I'm suspecting they'll put them out of gravel with an apron at the road and one at the garage, but try to, just so that it doesn't look like a runway, you know?
Yeah.
All right. All right. And any other questions, I can elaborate on them, but
Alan, you're calculating the 20 feet from the right of way, not from the pavement?
no, from the right of way. And some of these neighborhoods, is one set of them's going to have sidewalk and a green space out front, but it's coming from the property line setback 20 feet from our property, not from the pavement.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Alan? Oh, we got Linda back.
I probably realize you didn't hear hardly any of that. For whatever reason, we lost our connection here in Town Hall. So I'm on another medium. I can't share, but I know that SK can share the package that I've sent you if we need to look at that.
Okay.
Who else is gone?
Well, we're all here, and Alan Patterson kind of filled us in in your absence, but I didn't know if there's anything you wanted to add.
No.
Yeah. Bill, did you have anything?
Hey, so yeah, I'm a big proponent. I think what Alan would like to do is exactly what he should be doing. So I'm all about the garage being in the back. I'm fine with the 5-foot setback. I'm even fine if he flip-flops them once in a while and gets two houses 10 feet apart. I think it makes for a much better place. So I'm all about it.
Okay. And I guess my only other question, well, I guess what we could do is we'll go ahead as board members, but I also don't know if are you monitoring Facebook comments?
Buddy, you might want to mute. You got a whole lot of background noise going on. Thank you.
Yeah. Linda, is anyone monitoring comments on Facebook? Uh-oh.
I got a watch on them. There's nothing yet.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and open this up for discussion among the boards, and we'll go from there. And then if any comments come up on Facebook in the meantime, just let us know.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So we're just discussing the side setback now, and not the other items.
Yeah, I'm assuming that all other things that met staff's
I'm hearing.
requirements.
I missed that, Robert.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm assuming that everything else has met staff requirements, and this one issue, the setback, is the one thing they're asking us to.
That is correct. Yes.
My understanding was that there was an 18-inch minimum first floor height issue in this also.
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Well, it was in your synopsis.
Oh, I pulled out the fact that is a regulation. But But that was just as a background zoning review.
Okay.
Okay, so
If
so
it's a raised
is that being adhered to then?
Yes,
Okay, because it's not, that's not the way the plans that were presented to us are presented with 18 inches. Is that correct, Alan?
I'm 18 inches above the road height out there. So my site and my finished floor is 18 inches above the road. I've laid those pads out to work out like that.
Is
Right.
the requirement 18 inches against the road, above the road, or 18 inches above grade on the site?
it would be 18 inches above grade, which may be the road.
I think there's a
can't-
rise between the roads and the lot.
And Richard, you're right that the sketches that we've received so far, which will be improved upon whenever they're submitted for construction drawings, do not appear to necessarily to hit that regulation, I suppose.
So if we can assume that staff will cover that in the final review?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, these are not construction drawings.
Any other comments from the board?
I don't have any other comments regarding what I do have just a question for my, I guess, clarification or whatever, is that according to my papers right here. The general fall development, 2.2.110, the pedestrian walkway.
Hearing very little of any of this conversation.
Pardon me? Okay. Am I okay to go? Hello?
Richard, I think you're okay. I believe that Buddy is not hearing us. But I believe, Buddy, it must be something.
I'm hearing just parts of the conversation here.
Okay. And I believe everyone else is catching all of it.
Okay, all right. Buddy, I'll fill you in later, I guess. But 2.2.90 and 2.2110 seem to, the way I read it, and I realize this isn't part of the application here, requires pedestrian walkways in the development. Is that, am I reading that wrong, or is that, Linda, could you help me out a little bit with that? You're on mute, Linda.
I do have pedestrian walkways.
That would be sidewalks, and yes, there are sidewalks planned in the project.
Yeah, I saw the sidewalks in the project, but I just wonder if they're to the extent as required by the code there.
Yes.
Okay.
And I will say, this project, as it was laid out, it has been on the desk for a number of years.
Mhm.
And it was actually begun, and a lot of the infrastructure was put in before the current code was adopted. So some of the layout might not adhere because it was grandfathered in. But in essence, it does lay out pretty well with the code. So I'm not certain that there are any specific deficits, but it has been around for a long time. It predates the code.
It does really, okay, so we're
Yeah.
back to the zoning of the last century.
Yes, yes. And so
It
we,
seems to happen so often with development agreements here, but.
yeah, so we're, you know, we've got a willing developer who has inherited actually the work of someone else and is trying to match our code generously as much as he can, with every right to be grandfathered back to prior to
Okay.
2014.
It's fine. Had to ask the question. Went
Yeah,
out there, I
certainly.
went out and looked at the property and I, match it up against everything. And
Yeah.
I was also a little bit concerned with the drainage out there, but that's probably old stuff too. But, it's pretty much what it is, I guess.
Well, a lot of the drainage around it was inherited, yes.
Yeah.
There are a couple of different iterations of stormwater control in and around this property, but this property has passed muster on the current Beaufort County BMP manual.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Any more comments from the board?
I would just like to say that it makes perfect sense to me what Alan's looking for, and changing the setbacks to allow for the driveway.
Okay,
I'm in total agreement with that also.
all right. Do we still have Buddy? Well, I'd like to entertain a motion.
I move that the applicant's request to vary the side setbacks with a side minimum of 5 and a maximum of 15. I believe what we're looking for is that correct? 20 feet, as long as there's a combined setback of side setback of 20 feet minimum on each of the properties.
All right, so motion's on the floor. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor indicate by raising your hands.
Aye.
Buddy's back.
Buddy, did you re-
Yeah, I agree, whatever. I can hear parts of it,
okay.
but I don't have any issues.
Okay, well, there's a motion on the floor to approve as submitted, as long as there is a 20-foot between the houses, and it's been made and seconded, and we had a vote, so I didn't know if you were able to weigh in on the vote.
Yeah.
Robert, that was not, I did not move 20 foot between houses. I moved 20-foot combined setbacks on each lot. So each lot will have a combined side setbacks of 20, at minimum of 20 feet.
Okay. All right. Did we get a yes vote from Buddy?
Yes.
All
Can you hear
right.
me?
So it sounds like it's unanimous. So motion carried. And that is it, in case, unless staff has anything additional they want to bring to the board.
All right. Well, thank y'all very much. I appreciate it.
All righty.
Yeah, good luck, Alan.
Okay. All right. If there's nothing further, I'd like to entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
So moved. I agree.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.